Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about clear coat as well as the finish that you're getting after everything has been cleared. Now, we've got a couple of different parts here that we wanted to show you guys a few things. Now, these parts were cleared the exact same time with the exact same batch of clear, and everything was the exact same. The only difference is that one part had a texture to it and one part was completely smooth. Now, most of the time, of course, that's not really going to make a big difference, but it can definitely make a little bit of a difference even into the clear coat. So I wanted to show you guys a few things on why you definitely want to make sure that you're smoothing out your parts before you even start the process of the hydrographics, because if not, your parts may be coming out like what we have here. So looking at a part like this, you can see that this definitely does have a lot more texture to it. And one thing that you're going to notice is that these two little pieces here on the outside are actually really smooth. And so I want you to keep that in mind whenever we are looking at the parts after they have been clear coated and ready to go. Now, again, I'm not saying ready to go because we haven't fully denibbed them or anything like that, but this is strictly just straight from the clear, and we finished, and now we're ready to look at everything and evaluate everything. But looking at these pieces, you can clearly see a difference in how shiny the clear coat actually is. And so this is going to be really critical, especially whenever you're doing any of your parts, whether it be with the hydrographics or anything like that. You want to make sure that they are smooth, because you can clearly see whenever we have this part right here that all of this area right in here, which was not smoothed out to begin with, it has a little bit less of a gloss to it because the texture has pulled everything down and the clear coat has settled in, which means that it hasn't fully glassed out. And so it gives the appearance of a less glossy look. Now, again, you look at these two areas right here and you look at those and you can clearly see a difference just in how smooth they are. And again, these were sprayed the exact same. We just literally went straight over them and did batches of them just like that. So there was nothing that changed from one to the other, but you can clearly see a big difference in the sheen and how shiny and smooth these little pieces are here and here compared to the overall texture of the part itself. Now, moving on to another one, we have another piece that is like this. Now, this piece right here is definitely a lot smoother. So manufacturing wise, they came out smoother and we started out with a very smooth part. Now, we prepped everything the exact same, and looking just out of just the clear alone, again, exact same batch, exact same spray, everything was the exact same. This came out a lot more glossier than what it did with the counterpart over here, which did have some texture in it. And so we just kind of wanted to show you guys a few things on why that might be coming out, because sometimes you may not have everything exactly right, even just starting out, because it has a textured look to it. So sometimes you're going to need to remove that texture to get that super high gloss shiny look compared to what you would have if your parts were already smooth. So you always want to make sure that if the customer's wanting a good show quality finish, you always want to make sure that your parts are as smooth as possible starting out, so that way everything stays as smooth as possible throughout the entire coating. So of course, as you can tell, there are a few little nibs and dust nibs and things like that that we need to take out in both of these pieces. Now, a couple of things to remember on these pieces in general. The textured piece that we have right here, if we was to take and spray enough clear on it, it would remove the texture. And so I'm not saying that you have to do that, but that would be one way that you could do it. But you also have to remember, the more and more layers of clear that you're adding on to the part itself is not always going to be the best. It will help smooth it out, but it may be a problem down the road, because if it's a part that is flexing or anything like that, it could become a problem because then it could flake easier or chip off or things like that. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. Now, we could easily fix this just by sanding it down a little bit and shooting another coat of clear on it, and it would come out really nice and smooth and slick, just like the other finish did in this one right here. But if we was to have done the prep work beforehand to get this completely smooth before we started painting it, it would have came out a lot more smoother, a lot more glossier, just like what we have in these pieces right here. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. We'd always love to hear from you on anything hydrographics related, as well as let me know your thoughts on how the pieces came out. Of course, just like I was saying before, we still need to go through, do our final inspection, get out any dust nibs, things like that. I'm sure you probably saw some of those in there, but overall, we just wanted to show you guys how both of these differ and why they look the way that they do. If you like videos like this, hit that like button. We'd always love to have you like the video, as well as if you're interested in videos like this for hydrographics, hit that subscribe button. We'd always love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips on anything hydrographics related. I'm Brian from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.